Namaste, Swagatam. Jai Śrī Rāma. In today's edition of Brihat Mridangotsava, a series of conversations with Dr. Srinivasa Jammalamadaka garu, we celebrate the Rama Navami utsava with Rama Lallā Prana Pratishtha in Ayodhya on 22nd January 2024. This Rama Navami is very special for all of us. Our objective today is to explore relevant rituals concerning this festival being celebrated for the first time after Bhagavan Śrī Rama has returned to his place of birth, Ayodhya. Let us learn more from Srinivasa garu. About Srinivasa garu, Dr. Srinivasa Jammalamadaka garu studied Nyaya or Tarkashastra under Shri Radheshama Shastri garu, Advaita Vedanta under Shri R. Mani Dravada Shastrigal, and Vyakarana under Shri Ganti Dattatreya Murthy garu. He has completed the Tenali exams in Tarka Shastra and has also taken the Tenali exams for Advaita Vedanta. He holds an MPhil and PhD in Nyaya Shastra. Earlier, he served as Assistant Professor and Director of School of Shastric Learning, Kavikula Guru Kalidas Sanskrit University, Ramtech. He is the co-founder of Shri Kameshwari Foundation and is presently working as scholar IKS courses in Siddhanta Knowledge Foundation. He has been conferred with awards such as Tarkaratnam and Vidwan Mani by Shri Kanchi Shankaracharya ji and Shastra Kalanidhi by the Madhya Pradesh State Governor. Namaste and Srinivasa garu, Swagatam.
Namaste. Yeah.
We are once again back with a lot of questions on Rama Navami. This year, Śrī Rāma Janmabhoomi Prana Pratishtha was done, as we all know, on 22nd January. Kadange. How is this Rama Navami going to be different or special, both for Ayodhya Vasis and for all of us in Bharatadesam, especially in terms of awakening Hindu consciousness and for Hindu Renaissance?
So definitely every Rama Navami is special, and it is more auspicious this time as Balarama Pratishtha has been done, and it is we are very fortunate to be present in this era after the Prana Pratishtha, and again trying to understand and rediscover our own roots from the Shāstras. So definitely this is going to be a very a special Rama Navami for all of us. Yeah.
So what do the dharmaśāstras talk about? How do we celebrate Rama Navami? What do they say? How should it be done in a proper paddhati?
So we find this in the Agastya Samhita in the Skanda Purana. So there we have this Chaite Navamyam Prak Pakshe Diva Punye Punarvasau Udaye Guru Gaurashvoho Svochasthe Grahapanchake Meshe Pushani Samprapte Ragne Karkatahvaye Avirasit Sakalaya Kausalyayam Parafpuman Tasmin Dinetu Kartavyam upavāsa vratam sada Tatra Jagaranam Kuryat Raghunatha Paro Bhuvi. So this is the thing we find there. So on the Chaitra Masas, Shukla Paksha, Prak Paksha is the Shukla Paksha. On the Navami Tithi was the birth Tithi of Śrī Ramachandra. And the Graha, the position of the Grahas are also given. If we go to see in the Ramayanam, Valmiki Ramayanam, in the Balakanda, 18th Sarga, from 8th to 10th shlokas, we have the description of the birth of Rama. So that goes like Tato Yagne Samaptetu Rutunam Shat Samatyayuhu Tatascha Dvadashe Mase Chaitre Navamike Titho. So after the Putrakameti Yaga done by Dasharatha Maharaja, on the Chaitra Masas Navamike Titho, that is the Navami Tithi, Nakshatre Adita Daivatye. So Adita Daivatya, Aditi being the deity of the nakshatra, that is the Punarvasu nakshatra. Swocha Samstheshu Panchasu. So there are 5 grahas which are in their exhalated positioning, which is called as Uchasthānas. What are those? Those are Sun, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter and Venus being in their Uchasthānas. Graheshu Karkate Lagne Vakpata Vinduna Saha. So the Lagna of Śrī Ramachandra is the Karkata Lagna, wherein in the Karkata Lagna, in the Karkata Rashi, we have Moon along with Jupiter. And Jupiter is the Uchasthana for Jupiter is Uchasthana is in Karkata Lagna. And then we have Saturn in the Tula Lagna, Tula Rashi. So again, Saturn's Uchasthana is Tula Rashi. And then we have Rahu in the Dhanu Rashi, and Mars in the the Makara Rashi. So Makara Rashi is the Uchasthana for Mars, and then Venus in the Meena Rashi. So that is again an Uchasthana for Meena Rashi, and then Sun in the Mesha Rashi. Again, that is an Uchasthana for that, and then Mercury in the Vrishabha Rashi, and Ketu in the Mithuna Rashi. So this is the Rashi Lagna Chakra birth chart of Śrī Rāma Chandra. Many places in the older days, I do find in some of the Tamil Nadu, in Tamil Nadu, in the traditional houses, I've seen where people have the Janma Kundali of Rama in the puja. So that is one another kind of a worship that I have seen, so which is very unique. So this is the source for that.
So now you've given the chart, people can maybe make it and put it up if they're interested.
Much available even in the I mean, whoever is introduced to the Jyotisha Shastra, they definitely know this. So this is very much and this is one kind of another I could say a unique dynamic development archana.
Yes.
So that happens. So this is how we find that Śrī Ramachandra was born on the Chaitra Shukla Navami. So what should we do? Agastya Samhita says, Tasmin Dinetu Kartavyam upavāsa vratam tat sada. Tatra jakaranam kuryad Raghunatha paro bhuvi. So we have to do an upavāsa vrata. And then jagaranam. So jagaranam means not sleeping in the night. And doing the puja for Ramachandra in that particular auspicious time. So these things are there. And on the next day, that is on the Dashami, whoever has the Upadesha of the Rama Taraka Mantra have to do 108 times of Havanam of Rama Mula Mantra, and then do something called as on Navami we have something called as even Rama Navami vratam. So we have to perform the Rama Navami vratam on Navami day, and on Dashami we have to do this Havanam of Rama Mula Mantra and give this date, the idol of Ramachandra, which was where the vratam was done, that idol to someone, a Brahmana or someone, we have to give it. So this is the whole. So it starts from Ashtami technically throughout Navami and ends on Dashami.
So like Ekadashi, before, during and after. And this is very similar to Shivaratri when you say Jagaranam and singing the bhajans and doing the puja. So it is very interesting that it has similarities, but none of us do that. We are used to doing that for Shivaratri and not for Rama Navami. So the vratam itself, upavāsa vratam, can you please describe it a little more? If somebody wants to do the vratam, how can they do that?
So normally upavāsa. So one very popular understanding of upavāsa is upasamipe vasaha. That means being near to the deity, whomever we are worshipping. So we do find some other definitions of upavāsa. Upavrittasya papebhyaha yastu vaso gunais saha upavasas savigneyaha sarva bhoga vivarjitaha. This is also another definition. That is, upavrittaha means who is abstaining from. Upavrittaha, nivrittaha, that means abstaining from. Papebhyaha, that is the papa karmabhyaha. So abstaining from unhealthy or unintended, whatever activities which will lead to papam. And gunais saha vasaha, at least with some effort, because we have something called as samanya dharmas. Samanya dharmas are common, dharmas for everyone. That is ahimsa, satyam, asteyam, shaucha, indriya nigraha, and etc. So at least if you're not able to perform these samanya dharmas each and every day, there are set days where you can at least try to do it with effort so that you can follow them naturally afterwards. So this is one way of doing it. So gunais saha vasaha. So it is like leading the time with good dharmas, doing good dharmas, such as sarva bhuteshu daya, shanti, and etc. And in Mahabharata, so what is upavāsa? Another thing is not having food. So what is the technical thing of not having food? So in Mahabharata we find सायमाद्यन्तयोन्हयोः सायं प्रातश्च मध्यमे उपवास फलं प्रेप्सोः वर्ज्यं भक्त चतुष्टयम्. So that is abstaining from having food on the 4 times, abstaining from having food. So normally in a day we will have 3 times food, that is in the morning, in the noon and in the evening.
Yes.
So you start with the previous day evening, not having food, and you complete it with in the evening of the following day. So you will not have food for 4 times. This is one way of doing. But similar thing is seen in the Ekadashi Vrata also. That means you take a sankalpa on the previous day evening that I am going to do upavasa vrata tomorrow, and you start. You have light food on the Dashami night. So this is one way of doing. And I have seen some shishtas performing upavasa as, not having food for 4 days, but on the following day morning they will not have food. Not on the previous day evening.
4 times you mean, not 4 days?
4 times. You have to not have food. Yeah. So on the day of Ekadashi, they don't have food. That is 3 times not having food.
Yes.
And on Dvadashi, until noon, they will not have food.
Okay.
And then they will do Parana after. So that breaking fast is called as Parana vratam. So that they do after the noon. So however it may be, Bhojana Chatushtaya Nivritti.
4 meals have to be skipped.
Yeah, skipping 4 meals is also part of upavasa vrata.
Okay.
So what to do is also given, and what not to do on upavasa. If you are doing an upavasa, what not to do, you have to apply cosmetics. Normally we all apply gandha, anjanam, that is the kajal, and put flowers, decorate ourselves,
yes,
and do alankarana by putting on jewels and etc. Divasvapa is not to be done. You should not take tambulam. You should not do abhyanga. You should not do abhyanga. So you see, on the Ugadi and other auspicious days, abhyanga is a vidhi. You have to do abhyanga. But if it is an upavasa vrata, then you have to not do an abhyanga.
So for Rama Navami, no oil bath, no abhyanga snana.
As you have upavasa vrata on that day.
And no jewelry, no decking yourself up, unlike let's say Ugadi where you're supposed to deck up. Oh, okay. So it's almost like a penance, austerity, something like Rama.
So it is moreover like giving away. So what you can give away?
Yes.
Right? Kayika, Vachika and Manasika.
Yes.
So whatever your instincts are, you at least try to give away those instincts. At times you do.
Sorry, go ahead. No, I was about to say that if I knew earlier, I wouldn't have decked up myself. I thought it's a festival, so I should. So next time when we do on Rama Navami, I'll make sure I'm dressed differently. Oh, this is very wonderful to know. So a lot of tyaga in Rama Navami.
Yeah. So it is one way of what you call training ourselves to not have much inclination towards the worldly this thing.
Is it something to do with his vanavasam, because Rama did vanavasam for so many years? Does it say, does the dharmaśāstras say why all this austerity on his Janmadinam?
No, actually this is not only for his Janmadinam. See, we have Ekadashi Vrata. So these upavasa diksha, upavasa niyamas are for all the upavasa, all the days when you perform an upavasa. It is not only for the Rama Navami upavasa.
Okay.
It is for whenever, even for Ekadashi upavasa, you have all these things.
Okay.
So that is the idea there. Yeah.
This is wonderful.
This is the upavasa. Yeah.
Okay.
And then one thing is upavasa, and then the second thing is Rama Navami vratam. So normally now Rama Kalyanam is popular on the Navami Tithi, whether it is Bhadrachalam or Vantimitta kind of traditional temples.
Especially in Telugu states we have that a lot.
Telugu states we have this tradition of doing Rama Kalyanam on Rama Navami.
Yes.
Definitely. And even Rama Pattabhishekam after Kalyanam. So Rama Pattabhishekam is again his crowning, again celebrating his that crowning this thing.
Coronation, yeah.
In dharmaśāstras we find that in this Skanda Purana there is a Rama Navamī vratam you have to do. Okay, so Rama Navamī vratam, then you need to prepare an idol of Ramachandra. So how should that idol be?
Okay.
So here there is an interesting fact where we can at least relate this part with Rama Lallā of Ayodhya.
Okay.
So the first, there are two idols that we have to prepare. So one is Nirmitam Dvibhujam Divyam Vamanka Sthitajanakīm Bibhrati Dakshinakare Jnanamudram Mahamuni Vame Nadha Karenārad Devi Malingya Samsthitam Simhasane Rajatetra Paladvaya Vinirmite. So we have to prepare an idol of Śrī Ramachandra who is sitting on a Simhasana, that is on a throne, having Sita Devi on his left lap. Again, he is hugging her from her waist with his left hand, and having a Jnana Mudra on his right hand. So this is one this thing, and he has Parshve Bharata Shatrughnau Dhruta Chhatra Karavubhu. So on the two sides there is Bharata and Shatrughna who are holding Chhatras, and Chapadvaya Samayuktam Lakshmanam Chapikarayet. So this is very interesting. Even Lakshmana Swami is also standing there with two bows, indicating that he is even carrying Rama's bow. Because
yes,
Rama is busy.
Yes.
So he is standing beside with carrying two bows in his hand. This is one idol. And the second one, Dakshinange, on this right side of this particular idol, Dasharatham Putravekshana Tapparam Matu Rankagatam Ramam Indranila Samaprabham. So on the right side of this idol, there should be a Dasharatha seeing Balarama, that is the child Rama, who is sitting in the lap of Kausalya Devi with full of joy. So this is the second. So here we can find the relation now, at least, with Rama Lallā. So where Dasharatha is seeing Ramachandra. So this is another, I found this to be very interesting and very unique.
Very unique. Unfortunately, we don't find such murtis, because if you go in Hyderabad outside nowadays for Rama Navami, you find Rama standing with his bow and Sita and Lakshmana, typical Hanumanta. So that set is available because everybody is going to celebrate in their particular areas, Rama Navami. But this particular information, if we can tell the Murti Karas that this is how it is, maybe they'll start making from next year.
Yes.
And this is what is supposed to be worshipped on this day.
Yes, on this particular day, because each and every worship has a very significant, very detailed description is given about how the idol should be at times.
Okay.
So here we find that a detailed description is given. So it is for our imagination and our skill that how do we actually prepare such kind of idols. So that is one wonderful thing. And interestingly, normally in any vrata, devata vrata, we do worship that particular devata. So if it is Rama Navami vrata, it is predominantly a Ramachandra's worship.
Yes.
Along with it, here we have interestingly even Kausalya's worship and even Dasharatha's worship also.
Parents also. Yes.
The parents also you worship. So Kausalya mantra Ramasya janani chasi Rama rupa midam jagat atastvam pujayishyami lokamatar namostute. So here you again say that, because the Jagat is full of Rama and you are mother of Ramachandra, so you are Jaganmata in that way. So Namo, and you do even puja for Kausalya Devi. Namo Dasharathayeti pujayet pitaram tata. Again you do even puja for Dasharatha also. So this is one unique thing that we find here. And this is all, how to do this puja. We have Shodashopachara puja.
Yes, wanted to ask about that, Andy. So if you can explain about the 16-step rituals for Rama Navami, what is called as the Shodashopachara puja rituals, how can it be done?
Yeah. So in a very, how do we say, in general worships, apart from some very high level or next level kind of worship sadhanas, that kind of Shri Yantra and etc., if we keep that apart, because they have many other upacharas also, which are very high in number. But normally, anyone, layman, whenever they do puja, Shodashopachara puja, that is 16 upacharas are prescribed. So it is very natural, I would say. If someone, an elderly person comes to your home, or any guest if comes to your home, what all things that actually come to your mind are part of the upacharas. So first, as it is an idol, first you prepare the idol, then you need the idol. Idol itself is not for us devata. So you need to invoke devata in it.
Yes.
So it starts with avahanam. So that means you invoke the devata in that particular idol. So once the devata is present there, so what is the next thing? If someone, an elderly person or your guru or your mother or father, you just say that come is the avahanam. Come, please come in. Sit down. So you give him an asanam, and afterwards you give water to wash his hands. That is called as arghyam. And then you give water to his to wash his foot. So the feet. So normally we have this in previous days we used to have this. When someone used to come inside, we used to offer water with a mug or a jug to wash their hands and legs. So this is part of our culture. So then that is called as padyam. So the water to wash the legs is called as padyam. Then water to gargle. So that is not to drink actually, it is to clean your mouth. So that is also part of shaucha. So bahya shaucha, according to the shaucha, hasta, pada and mukha. These three are to be cleansed. So you give, that is called as shuddha achamanam. And then you give something called as a madhuparkam. This is a bit unique, I would say. I mean, normally we don't do this, but it is said to be. This is even today followed in the southern states. I don't know about the northern states, but in Telugu states, I do find this ritual done in the marriages.
Yes.
When the bride is coming, the first thing that the father-in-law gives is madhuparkam. So madhuparkam is cow ghee with the equal amount of cow curd and honey. A mixture of cow ghee, cow curd and honey in similar portions is called as madhuparkam. So first you give madhuparkam to your son-in-law. So that is done even today. So this has to be, this is also part of the Shodashopachara Puja. So it is said that it is Saukhya Bhoga Tushti Pushti Pradayaka. So the purpose of Madhuparka is, so then you give Madhuparka and then you offer Snanam. You do Snanam, okay, you do Abhisheka as part of Snanam. After Snanam, you give him clothes to wear, Vastram. And then you give him gandham in order to, do alankarana for himself. And then give him pushpam or do archana. As he is a deity, you do archana. So the main archana part is, so the crux of all this, the most time that is taken is in snanam and archana, both. And archanam. So you under this pushpa upachara, you do the ashtottara shatanama or sahasranama, whatever you want to do, you do it. And then you offer dhupa, incense, dhupa, and then deepa pradarshanam, and then naivedyam. You offer him food, and after food you give him tambulam. So tambulam, and then nirajanam. So nirajanam is the arti which we call it. And at the last, mantra pushpam. Again, there is a special upachara called as mantra pushpam. So these are the 16 upacharas, not only in Rama Navami vratam, but in all vratas, in all the puja, whatever the pujas we do as common people. This is the basic upacharas that we have to normally do. So these
There's nothing special that we are doing for Rama Navami except for the Ashtotra maybe or Sahasranama, like Archana for Rama. What I'm hearing from you is there's not, except for the upavāsa, which was very new, that one can do in Rama Navami. There is nothing different or special, isn't it? Except that it is
the special, I would say, the unique thing is now we are not performing Rama Navami vrata very as we do Vinayaka Chaturthi vrata. Vinayaka Chaturthi is very popular.
Yes.
You do Vinayaka Chaturthi vrata, but it is very nowadays it is very rare for us to see people performing Rama Navami vrata. But everyone is performing Rama Kalyanam, which is definitely a very great thing to do. But even this is another thing that which we can actually rediscover. We are not doing Rama Navami vrata much, so we can start doing Rama Navami vrata, because Kalyana will take more effort.
Yes.
Not everyone and anyone can actually perform Rama Kalyana, because it takes lot of effort, lot of things to do. But Rama Navami vrata is very simple. Very simple. Anyone can do. As it is very simple to perform Vinayaka Chaturthi vrata, in the same way Rama Navami vrata can also be
easier to do Tyaga than get resources and money.
And even we from the Kameshwari Foundation, we have provided the Puja Kalpa in Telugu script, Devanagari script, and Roman script in our website. Maybe we can share those this thing also, so that people can benefit out of it. They can self-help. So do it yourself. This thing can be done. And after this Navami, so it doesn't end with Navami. Again, in the next day, I mean in the Dashami, you have to and after this vrata on Navami, I have to do the Jagaranam. Jagaranam.
The whole night, yes.
The whole night you have to do Jagaranam. There is Yama Puja, depending on our strength and whatever this thing. Do Puja 8 times, I suppose. We have to do. And after tatah pratah samuthaya snana sandhyadika kriyaha samapya vidhivad ramam pujayed vidhivan mune tato homam prakurvita moola mantrena mantravit purvokta padmakundeva sthandileva samahitaha laukikagno vidhanena shatamashtottaram tataha sajyena payasena eva smaram rama mananyadhi. So afterwards, on the Dashami day, do all your daily rituals, and then do the homa of Moola Mantra of Śrī Ramachandra. For this, you need to have an upadesha. It cannot be done by everyone. Then 108 times of that Moola Mantra japa with kaughi and payasa. The homa should be performed. And then the idol which you have prepared for Rama Navami vrata and did the puja, then you have to donate this idol to someone who is very, having respect towards Ramachandra. So this is the whole.
So it's a combination of Vinayaka Chavati Vrata and Shivaratri Jagaranam. So it, like you're rightly saying, it is a very unique way which we have lost. We don't do that anymore. Quite difficult, I must say. Although it's easier in the sense of it does not need many resources or money. It is a lot of tapas. It needs a lot of tapas to perform, because next day you have to do homam also and all that. So if one has to do it in a very proper manner like you have described, and yes, we will share all the material that you have. It will be wonderful if at least few of the viewers can start performing.
It is our duty, I would say, to just bring this to the notice of people. Yes. Whoever possible, if they do it, if it's very good, at least it will get documented that, okay, fine, this is something has
this
to
is how
be done.
It's done.
Afterwards, maybe some person will get inspired. Maybe we have to do. At least even one person, if he starts doing Rama Navami vrata, maybe our effort will be fruitful. Is what I think.
Wonderful. This is so wonderful. Thank you. As always, we learn something new from you, Andi. Chala ధన్యవాదాలు. మీకు ఇంకా అందరికీ రామ నవమి శుభాకాంక్షలు. జై శ్రీరామ్ అండి.
జై శ్రీరామ్. అందరికీ రామ నవమి శుభాకాంక్షలు.